Hi everybody, this is Josh Kulp. We are learning Daf Shui. We are on Masechet Bava Kamma, Daf Kuf Hey. And I wanted to talk about a line that comes up towards the end of this Daf. Its application in general, its meaning in general, and its meaning here in particular in the problematics with this. So this is very much towards the end of the Daf. Rav Sheshet says, HaKofer b'pikadon, somebody who denies having received a deposit, somebody gave him something to watch and he denies having it. Na'aseh alav gazlan v'chayav ba'onsin. He becomes like a robber. He's boldly told the other person a lie. He's like a robber, and he is now obligated for unforeseen things that could happen to that which guardians are normally not liable for. There are 4 different kinds of guardians. We've talked about this a little bit before, but no one is liable for what are called onsin, completely unforeseen circumstances, such as like a lightning bolt, an unexpected death in some way, something that the guardian holds no responsibility for. Even the borrower is not liable for all those kinds of things. But in this case, the person denies it, he's like a robber, and a robber has complete liability for the thing that he stole. Okay, so the Gemara goes on. That part is, I think, relatively clear. V'tana tuna, we've already taught this. V'kicheshba, he denies it. Lamadnu onesh, we have learned the punishment. Az haraminayin, where is the warning? Talmud Amar, the Torah says lo techashu, do not deny when somebody claims something from you if the claim is true. Now, I just want to talk about this line over here. We have learned the punishment. Where is the warning? This is a line that appears quite often in the Talmud, but it is almost exclusively with non-monetary punishments. For instance, the most famous one probably is Leviticus 18 and 20 contain all sorts of sexual prohibitions. One of the chapters gives the punishment, one of them gives the warning. The idea is the Torah wouldn't punish somebody if it already hadn't warned them that what they're doing is prohibited. But the punishment over here is a financial one, and I don't think that elsewhere in the Talmud, at least the Tosfot don't think that elsewhere in the Talmud, there is a necessity for a warning for a financial punishment. The idea being here that being liable for the unforeseen circumstances isn't really a punishment. It's just sort of like, as a parent might say, it's a consequence, right? You now have to restore that which you stole. So that's more of like a consequence kind of thing than a punishment. And the Tosfot are perplexed why we have this line here. We don't find this elsewhere in the Gemara. We only find it with things that are like personal or communal types of prohibitions, what we might call isurim, prohibited things and not financial matters. But I still think the issue is interesting. The ideology that the Torah wouldn't punish somebody without priorly warning them is an interesting ideology. It has midrashic underpinnings. It also has legal underpinnings. Midrashic underpinnings is that it helps explain to the rabbis why some things are stated twice in the Torah, even though the Torah shouldn't be repetitive. Once is there for a warning and once is there for a punishment. But it is not normally invoked in the cases of financial things, because the Torah doesn't really need to warn somebody not to deny something that he is supposed to be guarding for somebody else, right? That seems to be intuitive, obvious, and many financial penalties are.